morning. So I have to roll up these windows, turn down the AC to give you guys better sound quality. I'm heading over to my buddy James's house because he's going to let me borrow something so I can do something I've wanted to do since, well, I've lived in Florida, which has been almost 18 years, and that is kayak. There's a group of people here getting their John boat out. Two things. One, I've never worn this harness, so I feel like a dick with this on. And two, I fully anticipate flipping over. I do have a camera mounted to the front, to the back, and to my chest. The GoPro is on the front. Get to the best quality. Hit the GoPro-ish. Will be on my face, so that'll be iffy quality. I'm taking my phone, but it's waterproof. I won't be filming much with it. Don't want to lose it. And I got a camera on the back, waiting for this John boat to get out of here, and then I'll get started. I've looked into getting kayaks for the longest time. Even a used kayak is not cheap. You go to one of these rental joints that rents kayaks, and they'll sell you their beat up party rental for like 500 bucks. Which, when I heard that, and that was years ago, imagine what they're going for now. That just blew my mind. I think $500, you can buy a not so high end one for brand new for that. But anyhow, there's a canal right there. I live out in Northeast Cape, and it's kind of Cape Coral has over 500 miles worth of canals. This was all swampland back in the 70s when this land was all sold to Rubes up north, and the Rosen brothers simply drained the swamp and sold parcels of land in the 50s. That's an interesting group of fellas there. They were land scammers, but anyhow. So I'm heading over to James. He's going to let me borrow his kayak. He wanted to sell it to me, and I asked him if I could borrow it for a while because, one, I don't know the first thing about kayaks. I'm 6'5". He's not. I would hate to buy it and then find out that I bought a kayak that's too short for me, that the way I'm sitting on it or in it. I don't even know if it's a sea kayak or if it's an internal kayak that you sit in. I don't know anything, but I haven't even seen it. I've seen it with the cover on it, but I don't know, once again, if it's a sit on top sea kayak, if it's a sit inside regular kayak, and if it's a sit inside or you sit on top, if it's not long enough, maybe the way my knees bend, I would be top heavy and prone to flip over. I don't know. I've gone canoeing 3 times since I've lived down here. I grew up in Ohio, going to summer camps. I'm pretty decent with a canoe. Never tried a kayak. So I figure I have canals all around my neighborhood. On the other side of my neighborhood is a boat ramp. To be honest with you, I'm a little more nervous about leaving my truck abandoned in the back of my neighborhood, which sounds sad, but where the boat ramp is, there's no houses back here, and I used to live off of that street. Yeah, I know, I'm one of these weird people who bought a house in the same street of the house I used to rent, where someone was murdered, but that's besides the point, because, well, the house I bought, someone was stabbed down the street from my house. So anyhow, great, super safe neighborhood. But anyhow, I'm a little more concerned about leaving my truck abandoned at the boat ramp than I am going out in the canal. So anyhow, James, interestingly enough, lives like 2 miles from my house. I could hit his house with a howitzer if I had one and had the need to. So I'm actually pulling into his neighborhood already. Show you how close he lives to me. Is we just started this in my driveway, and I'm pulling onto his street now. But anyhow, that's what we're doing today. I'm getting a kayak and I'm grabbing his computer. His laptop's acting squirrely. So he asked me if I could take a gander at it, which I will happily do. And so that is what is going on. This guy's out running, good for you. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. It's only 80 degrees out, so I guess it ain't too bad to run right now. I try to run in the morning or in the evening so I don't have the sun beating down on me the whole time. But the fact that it's only 80 degrees outside, he'll be alright. But anyhow, I'm almost here, so I will talk to you guys in a few minutes.
I cancer.
I love the response to this video. So I posted basically a similar video as I included in the last YouTube video about my pull-up bar. And I was excited because I was able to do 4 what has now been deemed quarter pull-ups. I didn't explain on the video that the reason I was doing quarter pull-ups is because I'm training for OCR, and if you watch enough of these Spartan races on YouTube or Savage races or any of these OCRs, when these guys are doing monkey bars and rings, and even on American Ninja Warrior, you'll see them point this out. You want to keep your arms bent at a 45 because it uses less energy. It's less taxing on your shoulders. It's less taxing on your biceps. And so I'm doing what this guy was deeming quarter pull-ups. And but anyhow, he calls me out and he says, do one full pull-up, just one, and stop showing off. To which I made this reply video. I did that video like at 11:30 at night. I saw the guy's comment. You can see I'm wearing my pajamas and my sweatshirt. I go out there and I break off 2 full pull-ups, and you can see I'm struggling at the end. Very next morning, this morning, I go out and I made this video. Because I didn't get my chin above the bar, I claimed it's 2 3/4. But I'm not angry at this guy for his comment. I'm happy about this guy's comment because I have said on my podcast and I've said on this channel many a time, the reason I post my fitness photos and videos on the internet is because the internet loves to call you out and on your bullshit, and they love to keep you honest. And the other thing the internet loves to do is to try to bust people down when someone is doing something that they don't have the ability to do. And so this person calling me out saying, hey, stop showing off with your 4 quarter pull-ups and just do one pull-up, stop showing off. That motivated me. And so now every day when I do a full pull-up, I'm going to reply to this guy because he's keeping me honest and he's keeping me going. And that is why I post the videos and pictures on Instagram, because I figure I've lost all this weight, I'm doing all these cool things, and if I get to the point when I stop or I lose my motivation and people see me gaining weight or doing things that aren't considered healthy, then they'll call me out on it and it'll motivate me to get back to doing what I've been doing. So no. And so this is the Lifetime Teton Angler 100. Looking into it, Lifetime is considered a budgetary or a low budget kayak. They have this model and another model which I can't remember the name of. The other model doesn't have the stadium seat. It does have 2 storage bins, and it only has a 4-point harness system at the front and the back. The Teton Angler does not come with a paddle, and it retails for about 350 bucks. You'll have to go and get yourself a paddle. The other cheaper model comes with a paddle and it's for 300. But from other videos I've watched, the stadium seating is a huge difference when it comes to spending hours on this kayak. And so I also did see that there are dry storage options available. This actual Teton has areas that are pre-marked. You can cut out and install dry storage, and from what I understand from a previous video I watched, you can actually get about a 7-inch in diameter or 6-inch in diameter with a waterproof fastening lid and dry storage for about 15 bucks off Amazon. Just get a 6-inch hole saw, blast a hole in the front and the back in the designated areas and screw them in, and you got yourself some dry storage. So for an extra 30 bucks, not counting the price of a 6-inch hole saw, you can add some dry storage to this unit. Once again, I am new at kayaking, and I made reference in the video, but you couldn't hear it because, well, with the waterproof cases on my older style GoPros and GoPro-ishes, the microphones didn't pick up very well. I was talking about center of balance compared to a canoe. I have spent many years on a canoe, but a canoe, the sidewalls sit up higher, you're sitting on a bench, and you're really top heavy. So if you lean left or right one way or the other, you have a higher likelihood of flipping over. And in the video while I was out kayaking, I was talking about how since you're sitting closer to the water, your center of gravity is lower, so you have a lower propensity of falling over. But while watching someone else's video, I guess this kayak compared to some others, because of how high the stadium seat is, I guess there are other kayaks where the center of balance is even lower, and you So in this one you do feel a little top heavy, but I really didn't have a problem with it. There was a little side-to-side action, which you'll see with the front camera, but I didn't feel unstable or have concerns that I was going to flip over after getting on it. I will say this kayak is 10 feet long and it's designated for people 6 foot and under. I am 6'5", so I'm not really that concerned with it. I saw other videos where they're complaining that the pre-molded footrests were a little spaced out, a little hard to use, but with my 6'5" chassis they were fine. I could reach the last one's fine and I felt stable. I enjoyed this kayak. One of the restraints on this one is broken, but I'm sure I can replace it by going to Lifetime's website and order a new one. From what I understand, it just has like a little molly bolt on the end of the line. You just poke it down in the hole and it will re-affix to the kayak. There are 6 supper drains. I think supper, not like supper as in dinner, but there's 6 drain holes, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 2 in the middle, maybe 9. I think 9. That way as water comes over it will leak out. There are 2 underneath the seat. I didn't really experience my butt getting wet, but with that being said, I wasn't on super rough water. In another previous video, I saw someone mention he puts rubber practice golf balls in those holes underneath the seat to keep the butt from getting wet. The only part of me that really got wet were my legs, and that was just from the water coming off the paddle. So I need to work on camera placement to make this video more enjoyable and figure out a way to talk to you guys while out on the kayak, especially if I start to fish. I'm thinking if I end up purchasing this thing, I would like to get some fishing equipment and maybe see what type of fish we can pull out of these canals around here. But so far I like this thing. It's definitely budget, and once again, I haven't bought this thing. If I do, it'll be less than the $350 they retail for, because he wants to hook me up. So first time fishing kayak, I enjoy it. You guys may want to go pick one up. I don't want to give it a rating yet because I haven't used it enough. Maybe in a few more videos or a few more tries, I will put out an official half-ass review on this particular kayak. But right now we're just seeing how we enjoy our kayak experience. If you guys haven't done so, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll talk to you soon.
This has been a Digital 410 production.